We're in a series on how to lead with significance, because at the end of the day, we all want to be able to look back in our life and say, I made a difference in the lives of the people around me. Now, today is our 7th session, but before we get into that, I want to just kind of give you a recap of what we've been talking about. You see, leading with significance, it's like building a house. And there are 5 C's to our leadership house. The first C, it's culture. It's the foundation of our house. Everything rests upon it. Culture is defined as values and action. There are 2 ingredients that really make up our culture. It's vision plus accountability. The second C is character, and character is like the blueprints of our house. Okay? Character is defined as doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. You see, our strengths or the rest of the pieces of our house mean nothing if you don't know where to put them. Our strengths are useless without character. We'll never reach our potential if we don't have character and integrity. The third C is competency. Competency, it's our material, it's our sheetrock, it's our 2x4s. And competency is defined as knowledge plus skills. And the 2 ingredients that make up competency, self-awareness plus humility. Today, we're going to dive into our 4th C, which is chemistry. You see, those first 3 C's, they're about personal leadership. You have to be able to lead or manage yourself before you can effectively lead or manage other people. But with chemistry, we're now moving to public leadership. Now, chemistry, going back to our house illustration, it's what holds our strengths together. It's what supports them. Or said a better way, it's what allows us to get the most use out of our strengths. It's the nails, it's the screws, it's the sheetrock mud. Now, that might not seem very beneficial, but think about this. A 2x4 is not very good on its own. But when you can combine it with other 2x4s and nail it or screw it together, then you can have the framework to your house. The same thing with sheetrock. Sheetrock doesn't do a whole lot of good on its own, but when you can use sheetrock mud, when you can put it together, you can have the walls of your house. Your strengths will be useless if they don't impact other people. Now, chemistry is defined as high speed with minimal friction. It doesn't mean in our relationships with those around us that we don't have friction. Think about this. A car doesn't go anywhere without friction. It needs to have some friction for the tires to work, to move, but we want minimal friction. That's there. We want to be able to have high speed in relationships, or said a better way, we want to be able to have influence with other people so that we can speak into them. Now, there are 4 ingredients that make up chemistry. We're going to talk about the first one real quick, and that's compassion. Teddy Roosevelt said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. You see, you can't have effective influence if you don't have a relationship with the people around you. And especially when you look at speaking into their lives, giving them feedback, correction or feedback is best received in the context of a relationship. So the people around you, they have to know that you care about them. Okay? Now, I know many people think, yes, but there are people who are just annoying. I get that. But you know what's something great about compassion? Compassion is not just a feeling. It's actually an intentional choice we make daily. You can grow your compassion for other people. It's like a muscle. It can get bigger. So here's our game plan. If you think about working out, there's reps that you can do to get stronger. Here are 2 reps that you can do to get stronger with compassion. The first one, know their story. Cheryl Bachelder, who's the former CEO of Popeye's Fried Chicken, says this. She says, do you know the 3 or 4 events that have most impacted the lives of the people around you? We all have stories. We all have reasons why we do stuff. We all have things where we're overcompensating or we're seeking attention or we're trying to fill some insecurity in our life. Now, I'm not justifying those actions, but I will tell you this. If you understand someone's story, you tend to be a little bit more sympathetic about why they do what they do. I'm not saying we condone it, but you tend to understand it a little bit more. Your compassion for them can grow. The second thing that you need to do to grow your compassion for them is to encourage or praise lavishly. You see, even when we don't like somebody, even when they annoy us, and we choose to look for the things that they do well and then to encourage them, our feelings typically catch up. Dave Ramsey says that the last time most people received applause was at their high school graduation. We have people who are malnourished when it comes to feeling encouraged. So what if we decide to encourage them? And one of the best ways to encourage them is that you have to speak their language. There are 4 encouragement languages: quality time, words of affirmation, gift giving, and acts of service. You see, we all have ways that we feel more encouraged. And what tends to happen is subconsciously, we encourage people the way we want to be encouraged. So one of my big ones is quality time. So what I'll look to do is I'll look to spend time with people. But if I want my encouragement, to get the most out of it, to impact the people that I want to encourage, I need to figure out what's their encouragement language and then speak that often to them. That's how you grow in compassion. So let me leave you with our tweetable lesson. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.